what is the mileage goals for the EV units that Ford is setting?
We haven't announced the EV miles that we'll have, but it will be fully competitive. As you may know, with EVs, it all depends on the temperature, the driving behaviors. So we'll have, we'll have a mileage of up to 100 miles that you can drive, and you'll get more or less based on how you drive the car. On the hybrid electrics, we continue to, with Escape Hybrid and then the Fusion Hybrid being, best in class with 41 miles per gallon with the Fusion, we're planning with the C-Max Hybrid next year to beat that. So we're going to be well in the 40s in terms of fuel economy, and we'll continue to lead from that perspective on our hybrids.
Sherif, from a commercial standpoint, I understand that we've had great success with a lot of our products with our municipalities. Are you getting any feedback when you go out and speak to the municipalities about their take on maybe what they would want to change their fleet over to?
We do, and we really learned a lot even from the Transit Connect, and a lot of these companies are delivery companies and commercial companies. The commercial and the municipalities are definitely looking for a technology like the EV that suits their driving patterns. So, for example, if you're a delivery unit and you have certain stops every day, and then you have a charging unit, you really want to make sure that vehicle suits your needs and you get payback. That's one of the challenges of this technology is it's got to be in the bottom line, and it's got to be a payback for that consumer. And with EVs being still expensive, that's our challenge, really working with them on how do we get it to that point. Ideally, if you look at a battery, whether it's a battery electric or a plug-in, the size of or the mileage that you get corresponds to the size of the battery you put in, and the bigger the battery, the more expensive the vehicle is going to be. So we're working on also driving patterns, what's the optimal range, because having a car that gives you more than you need is basically like paying for something you're not using. And that's one of the things that we're learning, and even looking in the future is what is the optimal size battery? And the answer is it depends. You have people that don't need more than 50 miles a day on delivery. So if you have a car that has 100 miles, it isn't going to suit them just because they have to pay for that vehicle. So we're sorting through data, looking at the fleets, looking at where the market is, and trying to establish that for the future. With the Transit Connect, you can get up to about 80 miles. That tends to be really good for some customers, maybe even more than some customers need. And that's what we're looking at in the future.
Where do you see, talking about battery technology, where do you kind of see that heading? Is it still nickel metal hydride, but the push is going to be to the lithium ion?
All our future launches, future cars, and whether it's hybrids, battery electrics, or plug-ins, are going to be lithium ion.
Oh,
so we've already made the transition in the future. What we have on the road today is nickel metal hydride. It's very good technology, but with lithium, being able to package more battery in the same car, because you obviously want the customer doesn't want to see the battery. They want to be able to have seating. They want to be able to have luggage space, and lithium enables us to really store the battery, easier. It's also lighter, and it runs cooler. And what that means is when it runs cooler is you don't have any heat losses, which translates into better fuel economy. So we do see the industry moving, and we have already made that shift into lithium.
And the expense is coming down?
The expense is coming down. I mean, the initial lithium is not coming down as much as I'd like it to see, but we do see when you look at the material that goes into the battery, also the billions of dollars that governments and industry is spending globally to make this work, we see some very good progress in cost. The cost is coming down for these technologies, and it will continue to come down. We're just in the beginning.
Sherif, do all these vehicles, or do most of these vehicles carry the regenerative brake system?
All of them do. And the reason that's really important, and we have a unique regenerative braking system that captures close to 94-95% of the energy available. And in a typical, just to give you an idea, in a typical hybrid or plug-in hybrid or even EV, there's a good 25% or more of the range that you're getting or the fuel economy that you're getting that is driven by the regenerative braking system. So it's a big, big enabler, and it's in all our products that we have.
You know, I was on FordVehicles.com, and I'm trying to keep up with where we are today with the technology, with all the products that you're bringing to market that make the consumer's experience more vibrant and enjoyable. And I sat there looking at the application for the electric vehicle on your smartphone. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely, and that's another thing that we are getting into with the especially electric vehicles, and also with the plug-in hybrid electrics. And what we learned is the range anxiety. People want to charge their car, and they may not be, well, they're not in the car while it's charged in general. So I'm sitting here in my office, and my car is being charged outside, and I have somewhere to go. And what I need to know is, and this is where we develop the cell phone applications, I need to know where my battery is, state of charge, and it will also develop an application where it takes the information from your personal driving behavior in that car and tells you how many more miles you have if you were to go jump in your car and get to your destination. And so it'll tell you how far you have to go, and then you can decide, do you want to wait or do you have enough to go where you need to go. It'll also tell you where all the charge stations are within a circle of where this car is being charged. So you may have somewhere to go, but then you have another charge point where closer to where you go. So you can have all this information available to you right at your, whether you're at home or in your office, and you'll be able to, most of the information that you get while you're driving about your battery, you'll be able to get it when you're not driving, so you can decide your driving behavior. That's on the cell phone. The other thing, even in the car while you're driving, we have a lot of dynamic information that is customized to your own driving behavior, and it will coach you, if you will, on some of the tips that you can do better when you're driving, and you can improve your range and give you a better possibility to get more miles out of your car. Whether it's brake coach, so the regenerative braking system, when you're braking, it'll actually tell you how much of the energy available did you actually capture during the braking event that you just did. So all that information can give you some tips on how to improve your mileage. And what we learned on the Fusion Hybrid is people really love that stuff. They love to see that information in the car, and they will change their behavior based on that data.
Well, Sherif, I think we're about done here. Need to wrap it up. I can't thank you enough for being a part of this time with us in order to ask you some very poignant questions with respect to where Ford's going with electric technology. So I want to thank you again for being a part of this, and thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you, Sherif.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Pleasure to share with you what we're doing. It's very exciting times for all of us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks.